Get a head start on your next trophy buck. Order stand placement advanced techniques today at Closing the Distance.
Welcome to this week's Closing the Distance. I'm Matt Moore. It's really simple today. We have 3 hunts. We have a crossbow hunt on a really big deer. We have a Matthews hunt on a deer that had been run over by a car. And we have an old 10-point that just had to die. Let's get started.
Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadhead, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape. Coming up, 3 whitetail hunts in Texas. Closing the Distance will be right back. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthews Solo Cam. Catch us if you can. Tree limb quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights. Sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminaut. Can your aeronaut do this?
Well, Rockin' Ale Ranch, me and Kenneth went over. It was our first morning to hunt, and actually went to the Citadel, which was together. It's our first chance to get to hunt in this setup. And we knew there was 2 nice bucks coming through there, and they've been coming through early, I mean in the dark, so we knew we had to be ready, and sometimes they come through there before the feeder even went off. So this particular morning, me and Kenneth got up in the stand, and I mean, light was just cracking, just into legal shooting light, and here he came out of the brush to the right, and we saw that he had a nice rack on him, and this was definitely one of the 2 that we was after. And he walked out there, and I'm not even sure he was going to eat. He walked through, and Kenneth made a great shot on him. I was trying to get on him with the camera. It was still marginal light, and it was still early, but Kenneth made a great shot on him, and I got some of it on film. I don't really know what it's going to look like, but it was a good hunt, and Kenneth made an excellent shot on him.
Hit real bad.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good buck. He come in really dark. I had to open the shutter up, just getting light, and man, it was just a tough deal to film. He was out of my sight, and I was trying to get over to him, but man, he looked like a really nice deer.
I think he's real nice, but like I say, I heard the bolt hit him. The deer, it was dark, but the wind swirling around, and you know, I didn't know, but I'm comfortable with the deer's out there somewhere.
I think he looked.
I heard it the way he ran
good
on. He was bowed up, and he didn't feel well at all.
Well, let's go down and look at the arrow,
Well,
and
you'll let me. We're gonna carry the crossbow with me.
yeah, better just be safe.
Just a second. Okay. Now we're gonna go see what we can find. Here's the arrow right here. And oh man, it's covered with blood.
Look good.
He's out there. He's somewhere. He didn't go far. I heard it hit him. Right here is where he wheeled. He took off right through here, I think.
Let's go out there and
Let's go see what we can find. I don't know. Last time I saw it, it was right by the bush up there. And I don't know. All I know it was a deer that looked like a big old deer, big-bodied deer.
I just got one little glimpse of him. He looked like it.
Okay, that's where he went. See, I see too much.
Made a pretty good track. It's been raining out here, so.
Turn.
You see him?
Looky.
Man, he fell right in the tree. Oh man.
He went 70 yards, maybe. Looky. Oh my goodness. Look at the face, Kenneth.
Man, Kenneth, that's a nice one.
Look at this buck. Look at this old buck. Look how gray he is. Look at this thing.
Man, that's a nice
Look
one.
at that thing.
With a crossbow.
Crossbow. First deer I've shot with this crossbow. But he's pretty nice.
Yeah, he is. How many points he got? He looks like
Well,
11.
he's got 10. He's got a little kicker
Yeah.
over here with 11 points.
It's in October. He don't have any
October,
broke horns.
October the 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd.
And first time we hunted out of this blind over here this year. And anyhow, I don't know, he'll score 155 maybe,
Yeah.
something like that, 160. But anyhow, he ain't gonna get no older. But anyhow, he is a big deer. Look at this thing. Look at the body on that deer.
It's a good one, man. Put it right in there.
That's not the deer I saw over here the other day, though. It's no way.
Congratulations, Kenny Ray.
Thank you.
Citadel worked out nice. Just wish we'd have had a little more light and a better angle for the camera, but
Yeah. Well,
man, who cares? This thing's
you can't.
on the ground. That's all that matters.
That's right. We got to get this big mother out of here before it starts raining.
Yeah. Good deal.
After the break, Freddy Lovell harvests a very unique buck. Later on, Scott York slams a big one. We'll be right back. Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics. Undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape.
Well, I took another buck in my home county this year, and it's funny, I hunt several properties in my home county that are bigger properties, and this will be 2 years in a row I've used my home county tag on my own 13 acres where I live. And you know, I chalk a lot of this up, and last year up, to the proper use of trail camera. You know, a lot of discussion about how often to check your trail cameras and when to check them. Check them once every 2 or 3 weeks or every other day. And in my opinion, every place is different. From every state, for every stand, it's all kind of different. And in my home county, the deer move a lot. And when they show up in the area, they're usually only there a couple days, and then you don't see them maybe a couple more days, a month, 2 months away, or never at all. So they're at the house. I try to check that camera every other day, just because, and especially during the rut, you just never know when one's gonna show up. If I wait 2 weeks, he showed up 2 or 3 days, 2 weeks ago, you know, and disappeared. So one afternoon, about noon, I walked down, you know, the stand's not 150 yards from my house, through some trees, and I checked the camera, and this buck had showed up at about 10 o'clock that morning. So I thought, man, you know, I really want to hunt that stand that evening. He's got to be still in the area. But the problem was, I have a pop-up on the west side of the feeder. The wind was straight out of the west. So I thought, well, I'll make a quick ground blind. I ran at home and got a chair and my loppers, tripod, and just backed up underneath a cedar, cut a little natural shooting window out. Went back to the house, waited a little bit, got my bow, took off back down to the field, and I didn't much more than get the camera on the tripod, and I look up, and this buck, same one, steps out just left of my pop-up. And he comes out to the feeder, and this old deer, I didn't really realize at first till I actually got my hands on him. He had a pretty good scar on his back, and I believe he had a previous injury from a car, but he was a really poor deer, and this was a mercy killing, I think. But, you know, the deer come to the feeder, ate a little bit, and I don't know if he was looking for does or what, but he just kind of made a circle and walked 20 yards right in front of me. And I made a good shot on him, and luckily my girlfriend was on her way there, so I waited on her. Got my dog. I'm trying to train my dog to find deer, and I knew this would be an easy one for him. And the deer didn't go 50 yards, but really had a pretty little rack. I really don't know the age of the deer, but it wasn't going to be long till the coyotes drug this deer down. He didn't have a whole lot of, the deer couldn't have weighed 70 pounds. He wasn't going to live long. His neck is just not big as my arm. His spine, he's got an injury here. His backbone is just sticking through his ribs. He is just a poor deer, very old deer. Very old. His eyes sunk back in his head. And my dog finally found one, didn't you? You find that old deer? This dog's got a really good nose. You know, it just shows you any dog can do it. He goes and gets my doves for me and everything, and I've always wanted to let him try to find a deer, and he went straight to this one. He did really good because it really didn't leave a blood trail because I hit him a little high in the shoulder. But anyway, man, he's pretty. You know, when we finally got this deer up the house and got to cleaning him, got to gutting him and getting the back straps out, you could tell his spine was separated and his shoulder was busted up, and he definitely had been hit by a car, you know, and sometime within the last year or so, and probably just trying to scratch up something to eat, you know. So he was a good deer to get out of the herd.
When we return, Scott York shares his West Texas bow hunt. Closing the Distance will be right back. Want more from Closing the Distance? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. Closing the Distance is made possible by Matthews Solo Cam, Catch Us If You Can, Tree Limb Quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword Sights, Sharp Solutions in Aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. And by the amazing Luminot. Can your arrow knock do this?
This evening could be good. It's been raining off and on this week, but it's cleared up today. It's really nice right now. It's gonna get cooler later. It's about 55 degrees right now, but they're expecting it to really drop later. But we're kind of questionable on exactly where to sit. We're going to a setup that we haven't been in hardly at all. But we have a tripod and a hang-on stand for the cameraman. And then we have another setup that's a ground blind. And we do have ozonics with us, so that'll help us out a little bit. But just trying to decide where to sit. We have an east wind, so we're not sure. I'm trying to make up my mind, but we're gonna go ahead and get over there and make a decision on the way. I think it's gonna be good, and we know there's a couple of good bucks over here. There's a big mature 8-point and then a 10-point that we've seen, so hoping to get on one of those. This is a really cool spot. We got in here early. We're tucked in pretty tight. We have some good cover behind us, a little bit in front of us. But man, I got a trail out there. It's a major trail. We've seen some good deer use this trail. And I know it's right at 20 yards, 22 yards. Perfect. The wind's going east, going that way behind us. Most of the deer are gonna come out in front of us or to our right. Awesome. love seeing that loom knock lit up as bright as can be. That's awesome, knowing exactly where your arrow goes. And I know exactly where my buck is too. Awesome. You gotta love being able to go straight to your arrow. That loom knock is lit up like a torch. Tell you what, there's good blood on there. I know it's getting dark on us quick. When we retrieve the buck, we know where the buck is. And we'll go over there and put the video light on him, so y'all can take a good look at him. But, oh yeah, you can see the blood on there. Oh yeah, see? Oh yeah, it's a good hit right there. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? It's always a good sign when we don't have to track our deer. I mean, we make some tracking aids and some awesome products, you know, for elusive wildlife, but hey, I love it when we don't have to track them. Look at the body on this buck, Chad. It's a big body buck. Look at my shot. Is that awesome? Hey, I'm proud of that. Man, tell you what, folks, this is a buck that we haven't seen. The rut is kicking right now. It is going off here in Texas, and we have not seen this deer. We haven't had any pictures of this deer. And he just came out of nowhere. When he walked out, Chad and I were trying to signal to each other. We both knew it was a shooter. There was no doubt. Look at the neck on this buck. He is swolled up. You know, we've seen a couple mature deer in this area. And as we were glassing, I was looking out the binoculars. We had a couple of young bucks that were chasing does out on this flat. They were working them over pretty hard. And this buck came through, you know, like I told y'all earlier, that trail. We have a lot of activity right through that trail there. And a lot of doe passed through there. So when I was able to get my shot off, he was looking at a couple of does that were actually off to our right. And I thought he was about to bolt and go chase them because two other bucks did that earlier. Luckily, I got my shot off right in time, and I hammered him.
Hey, we're out here cruising the hunting property today up in North Florida, and I love this piece of property. A lot of good deer on it for where I live anyway. And I was thinking about how much I love, my favorite time of the year is the search phase. And you know what I'm talking about. When bucks are just getting interested in the does and they have that unique look, and when you see a buck in full-blown search phase, it's incredible. His nose is down, he's on a mission, he's rocking and rolling, he is super susceptible to calls. It's just my favorite time of the year to hunt. I'm so thankful for that. But I got to thinking about what the Bible says about the intensity by which God pursues us. And the Bible says in Luke chapter 10 that the Son of Man, or Jesus, came to seek and to save that which is lost. Jesus is in constant search phase. He's in constant search mode. And you may have done some things in your life that you feel like have disqualified you, or maybe you made some mistakes and you just think, how could God love somebody like me? But the Bible says that no matter what we've done, no matter what we've said, that Jesus is constantly searching and seeking for us because He loves us. He came to redeem us and to save us and to give us a new life in Him. In fact, the Bible says that we're in Him. When we're in Him, old things pass away and all things become new. Doesn't that sound great? A fresh start, new hope, new life in Jesus. Well, the Bible says that you can sure have that. And we hope here at Closing the Distance that if you don't know Him, that you would come to know Him that way, because He is in constant search phase for you. If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to closingthedistance.com and click on the Moment of Truth tab.